Gojira Prime here with a little video, and today I'm just going to go through a hunting list for TFNation, which is coming up in just over a month's time. But today with me I have, at her request, my daughter Lily. Say hello, Lily.
Hi.
And she's also got a bit of a hunting list for TFNation, which we're going to run through as well. So before we do that, as always, I do have a Facebook page, Gojira Prime, where I do post images of the figures in my collection, links to anything I do, like videos like this and anything else I have an interest in. So if you do have the time, do please find the page, hit like, hit subscribe, and feel free to comment on anything that I do post. So hit list for TF Nation. I imagine everyone who is going does have some form of a want list, whether it be small or large. But we'll run through this and share our thoughts. So first up for Lily is BotBots. Now, Lily is a little bit of a BotBot fan. She's got all the main BotBots. How many BotBots have you got?
If I remember, it's 89.
She's got 89 BotBots. Now,
Well, that's my guess.
That's your guess. There's a couple of hundred of these things to get. Lily's got the main characters from the show, so she's got Burgertron, Banzai, Kick Me, Clogstopper, and Dimlit. Yeah. The hardest one to find was Clogstopper, but thankfully someone who saw a post I put up kindly sent us a Clogstopper. She's got a lot of the ones actually in this image, I think, as well. I think the two that I'd like to get you the most, if I could find them, would be the two cars.
Yeah. Wait, no, there's 3.
Well, they only did toys for 2 of them though. The Racer Rooney, the Racer Rooney, and
was it the sweet one?
The controller one, the game controller one. So that's something I would like to find for her if I could, but they were never released in the UK. I think they only came out in the United States.
I'd also like the rest of the Gold Rush game ones.
The Gold Rush game ones. Well, there's some serious hunting to be done there then. But hopefully, I mean, last year we actually found a guy who had a massive 60-liter box full of these things. And I think you had me hunting for half an hour for Clogstopper, didn't you? So
we couldn't find him.
We couldn't find him. He didn't have a clock. He had the repaint, but he didn't have the original. So yeah, that was a half an hour of my life spent digging for BotBots. Something for myself I'd like to get, if I can find it, and at a decent price as always, is the Seacons. I know they came out as part of the Selects line, and I didn't get them when they first came out for some stupid reason.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity, yeah. Time, money, all the above. It's something I would like to get. I imagine a complete set would cost me a couple of £100. But you know, it's something to keep my eyes open for if I do have a chance to get it. But I think I'd rather get the version you're seeing here on your screen. There is another version of the Seacons, but it was part of the Beast Wars line in Japan. But I'd rather get the G1 version, Western version, if I could. Something else that Lily is interested in and has started to appear in the shops recently is the Transformers Cyberworld toy line. We actually found a Scorponok and Grimlock in Smith's, didn't we, in Bolton?
Yeah.
What did you think of them?
Good. But this here, the chainsaw arm, can actually transform into a motorbike.
It did, yeah. You can actually detach Scorponok's arms and they form vehicles, or can actually be attached to Grimlock, since he's a larger figure as well. Figure does come with, I mean, it's actually quite a large figure. It's actually about the same size height-wise, I think, as the new Star Convoy figure. And that's quite a sizable piece of plastic as well. But this one does come with about 6 different sound effects when you push down on his head, was it?
Yeah, it was his head.
His head, yeah. So it's 60 quid in the shop. So this would be a big purchase for Lily at the convention. It would probably be the only thing she gets at the convention, aside from a few smaller BotBots. But we'll see how it goes.
First, about the Grimlock is one of the transformations.
Oh yeah, Lily's got thoughts on Grimlocks. Go on.
Well, in one of the transformations, Grimlock's dino form head can open up at the top. I don't know where the bottom bit goes. I didn't see that part. But the smaller figures like Optimus and Bumblebee and ones like that can like go underneath the top of the head,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it look like Grimlock's just gonna chomp it up like.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the images of the Cyberworld Grimlock figure, basically he turns into a mech suit for the smaller figures to ride. It does look a little bit weird, to say the least, but it's meant to be, I think, a little bit weird and a bit funny for the kids who are going to play with it.
Yeah.
So another item for me, if I can, if it's there available, is the Transformers Titans Returns Overlord figure. Again, this is one I passed up on when it first came out because I didn't really know a lot about Overlord. But as I've learned more about the character over the years, I have regretted not picking this particular figure up. Again, it's going to be an expensive one to get because obviously it's Overlord and he's a very popular Japanese character. So I would probably expect something like this to probably cost £150 and then some. So it's something I'd like to get, but I don't want to blow my whole budget on just one figure at the end of the day. And the last thing that's on Lily's hit list for TF Nation is, although she's 8 years old, she is a bit old for rescue bots now. But is this one? This is the High Tide Megabot.
Yeah, my dad went searching for it, but he couldn't find it.
Now, Lily was quite into rescue bots when she was a bit younger, and she does have all the main team, don't you? You've got all the main team.
Yeah.
But this was the one I was never able to find at a decent price. It was always, a lot more than I was willing to spend on it. So I ended up missing it. Unfortunately, I've never found one at TF Nation, but you never know. Fingers crossed, we may find one yet. I think it's the better of the two High Tide toys because one High Tide just turned into a playset, but this one actually turns out from the boat to the actual mega robot, so that's quite cool. So would you still want this?
Yeah.
Yeah, still want this. It'll probably, like all of Lily's toys, if your daughter is anything like mine, once she has a toy, she'll have it out, play with it for 5 minutes, and then it will be deposited in a box, never to see the light of day.
Well, unless my Switch and tablet have died and I don't know what to watch.
Everything's dependent on electrical devices not having power, but there we go. Another item for me now, again, this is probably going to be a bit out of my price range, but it is the Transformers Legends God Jinrai and God Bomber set.
Wow.
Do you know who this is?
It's definitely a version of Optimus Prime, but that is a very long name.
It is. Well, this isn't Optimus Prime. This is a character who looked like Optimus Prime, but he had a different name. He was called God Jinrai.
I know, but Trick also looks a bit like Optimus
Yeah, he turned
Prime.
into the same. Basically, he was Optimus Prime's backup body if anything ever happened to him. But I'm not going to explain that to you right now. You're 8 years old. Again, it's something I would love to have in my collection, but I've seen them on eBay for £300 plus. So it is a little bit pricey.
Yeah.
And I have been tempted possibly to get the new MPG figure, which I think would scale with my collection very, very well in regard to size, because I mostly get the generation stuff these days. But, if I can get this one, who knows? Another figure I passed up on getting, and I don't know why I did, is the Deluxe Class Titans Returns Brainstorm. Now, one of the main reasons I didn't get this figure was I actually had the Thrilling 30s version of Brainstorm, and I decided not to get him because of that. But unfortunately, the Thrilling 30s version does not scale with the other Titans Returns figures in any way, shape, or form, so I missed out. I would like to get this version, but again, I've seen him on eBay going for really stupid prices. Hopefully, I can get a version at TF Nation, which will be a bit more within my price range.
So cheap.
Yeah, well, not cheap, but less expensive at the end of the day.
Yeah, so like very cheap.
Yeah, not very cheap, just less expensive.
So less cheap, less expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So another figure on my hit list is the Transformers Legacy Titan class Cybertron Metroplex. I passed up on this figure originally for a very simple reason. although I like Transformers Cybertron, I wasn't overly keen on this figure because essentially I was being asked to pay £220 for what is basically a brick.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's his alternate mode there.
Yeah, I know, but but yeah, even by my dad saying he says he's weighs like a brick.
Yeah, I mean basically he turns into a brick. Now he has come down a lot in price. You can find him in a few places for just over £100 now, which makes him a much more tempting proposition. So if I do see this guy at TF Nation, whether it be second hand or brand new, depending on his price, I may pick him up. I do actually quite like the Transformers Cybertron series, or Galaxy Force as it was known in Japan. So, and with more Cybertron characters coming out in the mainline Generations line, I may get him. Yeah, this mode here, is this what you're pointing at?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his battle mode.
Yeah, and I noticed that this, like Thor, Grabber, whatever, can
split into, yeah. So, okay, that's one. So, another one I would like to pick up, and I've not picked it up so far in the shops, is Transformers Cybertron Starscream. I do actually have the original deluxe figure from the Transformers Cybertron line, which came with the Vector Prime figure. Well, I say it was actually a Voyager class figure. You wanted to ask a question. What is it?
this part.
You've got to say because people can't see what you're pointing at.
Well, the part where the purple bit with the Decepticon.
Do you want to know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's called a Cyber Planet Key. Now, when they did the original,
You've got parts of them.
I've got some of them with my original figures. Now, the way it worked with the original figures, you would take the Cyber Planet Key, plug it into a slot in the back of his head, and then the blade and the gun, or another blade in his arm, in these bits here, see?
Yeah.
They would then snap out.
Okay.
Because it was like a gimmick, basically, for the toy. So this is what I would like to get. I do have the Armada Cybertron figure, but I'd like to get this one as well. Then we have Vector Prime.
Colourful.
It is. It's very colourful, isn't it?
And bright.
He is, yeah. Now, Vector Prime, as we know, is getting a new lease of life through the Age of the Primes line. He was the only one of the original Primes to appear in any television series up until fairly recently, and with the live action movies. So yeah, I like Vector Prime. He's a clockwork robot that travels through time. So I kind of like the idea, and I do like the character. Wow. So I think I will get this guy if I can. Again, it's one I just haven't got around to getting, but it is one I would like to get. Unfortunately, though, this version does not come with his Minicon. He had a little tiny robot that came with him.
Yeah.
Called Safeguard, if I remember rightly. So, but
Safeguard.
Yeah. So he doesn't come with him, unfortunately.
Imagine if you sold him separately.
People would be very annoyed at that. Another figure which I have yet to pick up but is on my hit list is Transformers Robots in Disguise 2001 Sideburn. Obviously, this is a companion figure to the Omega Prime figure that's come out very recently from the HasLab. I'm hoping that we will get the other two Autobot brothers, X-Brawn and Prowl, at some point in the future. So this is a figure that is on my hit list, and I should be able to get it at TF Nation pretty easily. Another figure Another figure I would like to get is Sandstorm. Now, the reason I have not got Sandstorm as of yet is a pricing issue. I did not want to be paying leader class prices for a Voyager class figure, because we have had Voyager class figures, that have been priced at the £35 mark. This guy was priced at the £55 mark, so a slight difference to say the least.
Yeah. There's a helicopter.
Yep.
This one.
Yeah, that's a dune buggy.
A
bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Called weird.
But I'd like to get this guy, and if I can find him at TF Nation for a decent price,
I'll get him.
I'll pick him up, yeah. Now, another one I would really like to pick up, and again, spaceship actually, but there you go.
But it looks like a boat.
A little bit, yeah. One I would have liked to have picked up, but again, it's with this guy, it's been a question more of the cost. when Tidal Wave first came out, I didn't have the money spare to be paying out £220 for a Titan class figure. He has come down in price a little bit in some places. I think I found him on Amazon for somewhere between 150 and 180 recently. Again, it's a sizable figure. I just love the design of Tidal Wave and
Very purple.
very purple. In the follow up series, he was actually green.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because it goes well with the Decepticon symbol as well.
Yeah, it does. It does. But again, I didn't have a chance to pick him up. I would like to pick him up, but again, it's all about cost and what else I find at TF Nation at the end of the day. Another figure I'd like to pick up.
I really like this one.
You like this one?
Yeah.
What is it about this one you like?
I like how the shades it's got and how bright the colours are.
Yeah. Well, this is a character called Hotshot. So this is Transformers Cybertron Legacy Hotshot. I do have the original figure. Again, he comes with a cyber key, which you can plug into the figure, which doesn't actually do anything. Yep, that's it there. Unlike the original one where you put the cyber key in, and then you see these little red bits here. They're fins, which like come out, so we make him go, which make him go a little bit faster. So again, this is one I'd like to pick up. I think they are doing an Excellion version of this figure later on in the year, so it won't be out in time for TF Nation. But that's another repaint I'd like to pick up. And that's it. That's the pickup list basically for me and Lily for TF Nation. So there's some expensive stuff on there.
Yeah,
there's
definitely expensive.
Yeah, there's some not so expensive stuff on there. My stuff I shouldn't have a problem finding. I don't think we'll have any problems finding bots at the convention.
They have a giant top.
Well, hopefully the same guy will be there this year. I think the big problem, the one figure we will struggle to find will be the High Tide. I just don't think that's going to turn up, but you never know. And, Cyberworld's fairly new, so we should be able to find something Cyberworldish in there for you.
Yeah, like one of the smaller figures that Grim look like, something like that.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But hey, that's our hit lists. What is it that you're looking for at TF Nation if you are going this year? Yeah. Do please let me know in the comments section. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. And have a very nice day.
Bye!